Boy in the building. I'm here with Jay Pope.
What's up?
And welcome to DadHats Radio once again. So, I just put out a little instrumental, a little informative video regarding 17 minutes, what I can do in a contribution. And me and my man James has been talking for a while, like, what else can we do? We all have our contributions, we all have our ideas of what we think that we could do, but what are we actually doing to execute some type of, better direction? So, more or less, I was talking to my man Jay, and I said I'm coming through one day, and here I am. So, without further ado, my man James Pope, one of the best dudes I know, a great representative of, holding down the family, holding down work, life changes, great father, sportsman, as you can see, I feel like it's St. Patrick's Day, but all around, every time I'm around this guy, man, he's just, his energy is incredible. So I just want to, sit down, let you guys see what a great representative of cats that's in the dad hat, frame of mind, whether they're in the movement or not, what it be like. So, James, how you doing, man?
That respect.
All right. So, talk to me, man. What's on your mind about, what do you think? What's going on? Like,
Well, it's funny because it's funny to even like talking about this because recently, I lost a friend.
wow. Yeah. So the post.
Right? So it makes you kind of think about like just life. Like you could be here today, you're gone tomorrow. So it's wild kind of thinking about him, like all the stories, of him. As a matter of fact, I had a picture of him that was here before, but I didn't keep it up. Because he wasn't a Jets fan. It's funny because I had a picture up and I was talking to a couple of friends and I was like, oh, I got him up with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm working out, I'm watching the game. I'm like, he would probably kill me because he's not a Jets fan. You know what I'm saying?
Mad jokes.
Yeah, he's a big Giants fan. So I was like, I'm going to put him up, he'll be all right. But it makes you really think about like, you're not promised tomorrow. So we went through a lot of stuff. People, our lives kind of grow apart. So we get our families, we get invested into our life, that sometimes our friends that we grow up with, we don't check on them as much as we should.
Wow.
And the big thing is this, is that, with today's society, like politics and everybody's different opinions of how they are, as you grow up and grow older into a man, and you kind of look at things a little bit different, you kind of understand who you are in this world. And it may not be the same as you was when you was a kid, as two kids just hanging out and not thinking about the world, because the world isn't that big when you're a kid.
Just couches.
You know what I'm saying? The world's not that big when you're a kid. You know what I'm saying? The world is your complex.
The circle of your
circle, right?
What you can see, right?
So you don't think about it like that, but as you get older and you get out in society and you start having different experiences, you start feeling different ways. Sometimes your opinions aren't the same. And as two men, I'm a stubborn man sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So, you kind of grow
Crystal, I am not stubborn at all.
Well, Tanasia,
I'm just a little stubborn.
Listen, you know what? The strength that we have as men is also stubborn sometimes because, you set in your ways. I know for me, it takes a strong woman, which God bless me with, to make me see and come out of my stubborn ways, because sometimes I can't see further than I'm looking.
Just for a second. Just 1 second. All right, so we want to slow that down a little bit. We're going to rewind, and I want him to look completely at the camera. Hold on, we can close it. Hold on. Say that one more time, because that was the most beautiful thing I ever seen. Are we recording? Please say we're recording. Yes, we are. All right.
Yeah. No, so it's true. As men, we are stubborn, kind of set in our ways sometimes. Sometimes it really takes a strong woman to make us see further than where we're looking, because sometimes we only see here. We're not seeing further along. I know my wife has shown me many a times. I'm like, no, that's not what's good for us. We're going to do this, because I'm the man, and I say this is what we need to do. And she's like, listen, just think about this, that, this. And I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't see that. So,
wow.
I think that that's why God puts people together. I think I couldn't have a woman that was not as strong as my wife to make me see things that I don't see. I'm very old-fashioned. I'm definitely gonna open doors for you. I'm definitely gonna you know, play my role. I feel as a man, I'm your protector, I'm your supporter, I'm all of that. But I'm definitely old-fashioned. You know, I'm a person that grew up from a father who was from down south that raised me with certain values and morals. Where a man is a man. And now it's just, in today's society, it changes. You know, I know we just all kind of went to a different topic right now.
You know, that no, perfect, because now this is when Dave jumps in, because you're absolutely right, and it's all connected. Because look, so, you know, as a man, right? Do you recall when we were kids, like there was like a baseline? Mm-hmm. Like you don't go past this line, and you know you would see some people that would spaz out and you know just go a little bit further than they should, but you know, and this is you know a lot of kids are gonna be like these old heads talking, but
right.
Let's just think about it for a second. Like, how is, just to pick one topic to prove your point, how is opiates and heroin a 70s? How is it here right now, bro?
Right.
How is that possible? And what are we pumping into our kids? And who's raising our kids that they got access, information, and now that there's an epidemic? And unfortunately, the light is shined on the situation because it's in the burbs versus, you know, before it was just crackheads. Now it's a drug epidemic.
Right.
So, you know, it's full circle, but look at how things have changed in our lifespan. You know, it's scary. And it's like, you know, trying to be a man, trying to stand your ground, trying to be stubborn, but also trying to make your point. And, you know, raise your family, but make a difference. There's so many layers.
Right, it is.
And that's what I often talk about, because at the end of the day, you know, my stomach's growling, just worked out, getting my swole. All right. All right. You know, we often say, yo, I hate this. But you work a 9 to 5.
Right, what do you do about it?
Yeah. You know, your wifey, you know, we're paying taxes, we're doing this. Yeah, you occupy. It could be, you know, you're working to get some bail money for somebody. I don't know, whatever your thing is, but you're preoccupied, right?
Right.
So now, if we're not there for our kids because we're getting our money right and getting life for the future, the day to day, you know, and injecting some type of soul and moral compass to the equation, because while we're not looking, the world is going so much faster than, so now they're getting sex at a higher rate, they're getting violence at a higher rate, they're becoming desensitized. I mean, there's just so many layers, man.
So many.
And so I didn't mean to cut in.
No, but that's actually good, because that's kind of like what we talk about sometimes when we just sitting around, like even you know a couple weeks ago. Because purpose, right? Or like I always talk about what's the purpose of my life, and I'm still trying to search for what my true purpose is. But I know that deep inside, my passion is trying to make a difference with that younger generation, just because, you know, we don't know if what a household is like. Like, you know what our household is like. You know, like, thankfully, you know, I have again my beautiful wife, and we're setting, you know, this foundation in the house. You know, you have your family and your wife, and you guys are setting that foundation. Every household is different. We don't know, you know, what that household is. But what I do know is we have a lot of young men out here that
they're watching our moves.
They are.
If you got some type of even that much swag, but some success,
right?
They're like,
they're looking at you.
How'd you get that? And why are we squandering and holding it as opposed to, look, I got the keys, because that's the way that we were. And this is inclusive of everyone, but understand that the way that the African American race was brought into this country, we were behind the curve. You know, there's like a 400-year head start that the rest of the world is, you know, benefiting from. Even immigrants that come here from other countries, you know, they get better privilege than we do sometimes, and it's kind of unfortunate, and it's hidden right in plain sight. And so, because of that, to what James was saying, a byproduct or derivative of that is that, you know, we do this, and so the crab's in the barrel. I don't want to share my resource, or we don't want to share our resource as to how we got to where we got, you know, because we're so afraid of failing. And then on top of that, you know, we just got it. So it's like, look, I'm going to get mine, and, you know, like, get yours. We're doing it. But, you know, like with we got different countries. The regulations on warheads and war and policies in the country are changing. We got violence from people that are protecting, if you know what I'm talking about. We got all of these things. So we have to make the decision to say, all right, cool. I'm going to try to be the best example as I can be. And we can't really do it the way that we want to because we have analysis paralysis. We got the information just coming from everywhere. We got to make money. We have financial obligations and everything like that. But you don't realize that people are watching you. And it could be just that one moment, that one spark that sets a great idea ablaze into a movement. So we don't have the opportunity. We squander. And so that person that has the resource or the little swag, that they're watching us, it's that much more important that we're conscious so that we can kind of, hey little man, hey little girl, hey whatever your situation is, I did it with these odds and you can do the same thing. That's the stuff I'm on. I know that sounded, but
no, it's true, and I don't know if we all feel an obligation as if we as humans, right, once we get to a certain point and we feel a little success, do we also feel an obligation to talk to the younger generation, right? I'm in my life and I'm doing good, so I don't know you, right? So why am I gonna stop?
What's the point?
Right. But I myself feel like that is the disconnect, that we do need to stop. And I don't know you, but I want to know you, and I want to know your story. And just a simple conversation can spark a new path, or even push you along the path that you're already looking to. That you're saying.
He did say spark. All right.
Spark.
Yeah.
Right. Because there's different paths, and I think that any little bit can help, and that's why I always talk about the barbershop, because the barbershop is, I feel, like the central point in a neighborhood where young men or women go to sit and have conversation. And from these little conversations, they pull stuff. It could be a person that's thinking about, do I need to go out to the street and do this? Or I got this little job that's calling me, but I can make more money in here. But do I do this? And they're not looking at the long-term effect. It might be a simple conversation. You're like, hey, short term, fast money. Long term, success.
Fast money burn fast.
It does.
Yes.
It's just simple things like that. But I don't know if we feel that obligation to say, like, let me stop and talk to this young man or this young lady and see where they're at, because they're not ours.
Using the tool. There's a dynamic. Right.
Because you look at them as your own son or your daughter. Like, I know if my son is out there, I would want somebody to stop and reinforce the things that I've said in life. And I've had that blissfully, that my son has been out there, because nothing's perfect. So, your son goes out there, and it could be somebody that you don't even think of. Like, I saw your son today, and I stopped and I talked to him. I just chatted it up with him real quick.
But that could have been a thing that either stopped a bad thing from happening, or the click to make him open his thing up. That's important. And that small investment, imagine how we could move the needle, because the needle's right here, and this is the graft right here. The needle's right here. Nobody's doing nothing because everybody's afraid. But even if we spike it and we get it right there, that could be ill. But you said something that's actually kind of cool, and maybe we could start a movement. Dad hat, shameless plug, holler. All right. Let's get some dialogue going in barbershops. You know what I'm saying? If you want us to come and bring dad hats to your barbershop, and we have a discussion and we send it out to the world, let's do that, man. But let's get these conversations one barbershop at a time, one heart at a time, one household at a time, and just try to move things forward, because, if we don't, who will? So that's it. I'm going to let James give the finishing thought. But Dad Hats Radio on YouTube, this is D Wells, your boy. What's good? I'm in the building, and I'm here with Jay Pope. Yo, Jay, finish it off. What you got?
So I think the big thing is, what I'm on right now in this new time that we're living in is purpose. What's your purpose? I think everybody needs to sit back a little while and just ask what your purpose is. And it's bigger than your circle. Think bigger than your family. How can we move that needle, like you talked about the graph? How can we move that needle, and how can we each play a part? Like Dave said, maybe it's through the barbershops. Maybe it's through these conversations, Dad's Hats, Poke's Barbershop. You never know, what's going to happen, but everybody plays, their part, and maybe we can do something to society as a whole, So that's all.